going on, everybody? We're in upstate New York and it is freezing outside. Today, we're gonna show you guys how to survive a hypothermic situation in the wild. We've got a frozen pond behind us. We've cut a 4x4 section through the ice. We've got professional Jason Smith, a retired special operations medic and survivor instructor. Not only that, alongside of Jason, we've got your everyday civilian, the one and only Jared Krast, to hop in the ice along with Jason, just to see the professional versus the everyday civilian. It's very simple. They're gonna spend 2 minutes in the water. As soon as they get out, they will be timed how long it takes them to get out, start a fire, dry off their clothes, and survive.
Really not looking forward to it, but it's very realistic in terms of survival. You know, falling through the ice or falling into a creek, or it doesn't have to be ice, but you know, hypothermic situation, having to get a fire started under very cold conditions is a realistic deal. It's gonna be difficult because nobody likes being cold, including me.
This is wicked dumb. I don't know why I volunteered for this. I didn't really volunteer as tribute, but you were kind of voluntold a little bit. But I didn't say no, so I volunteered. But this is about as dumb as it gets. I don't think I've done anything this dumb before, and I've done some dumb stuff in my life. So
yeah, I'm interested to see how Jared, comes out of the water and kind of his go-to, how he gets his fire going. Obviously, I don't change my game plan based on being cold or hot or whatnot. I build my fire the same all the time. It's just going to be much more difficult being cold. So I'm anxious to see how he does his fire.
I know how to start a fire. I've started one, campfire before with some from newspaper, and I don't think I've ever started a fire with just a ferro rod and had to be successful. So that definitely is on my mind going into this. That's not a great way to start.
There you go. Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. There you go. Keep rubbing your hands together. Keep rubbing your hands together. What's the time?
1:15 left.
Almost there, buddy. Almost there. You're doing great. You're over a minute right now. There you go. Focus on your hands. Think about the fire. Think about where you got to go. You got the stuff. You know you're going to be successful. Think about that. Just breathe. Probably down to 45 seconds, man. How cold is it, Jared?
Dude, it's f***ing cold. I can't even feel my hands. Holy crap.
Good.
They feel like they're suctioning together.
Not looking forward to it.
Nope.
You got it.
No,
buddy.
absolutely not.
You
It's like
got
I
it.
feel like I got a layer on the outside of my hands right now.
Time?
30 seconds.
30 seconds, man. Count it down in your head. Count it down in your head with your breaths, man. 30 breaths. 30 breaths. 30 breaths.
Tell us how cold it is. It's so cold. It's so cold. Oh my God, it's so cold.
Can you imagine being at
No.
bonfire right now?
Oh my God.
Can you imagine treading water?
No.
Tell me you can't
Yeah,
imagine.
I'm so glad I could touch ground right now.
Yeah.
If I couldn't touch ground, I would be freaking out
Yes,
right now.
yes.
Like I'd be losing my mind. This is just,
Time.
oh my God.
Time.
Go, 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 go.
All right, so he's gone for some kind of wetter tinder, and he probably should have went with some more tinder on that one.
I don't know if I have enough. I gotta get more. I can't really feel my hands. I literally feel like I have gloves on that keep your hands from actually working right.
I think he's doing good. I mean, the big thing is the big thing is that he survived the water. He come out with a good frame of mind. He's thinking through the play of the problem, and I'm just hoping I can do the same.
Are you worried about running the ferro rod?
Not really. I'm more worried about my tinder being dry enough and having the sticks to light this stuff and actually go, because I don't know if it's going to. So I'm a little nervous about that. He's got wet stuff like these leaves in here, and I don't want that. Oh my God, it's cold. I shouldn't have put that over. Okay, smaller sticks. Smaller sticks. Stupid. Why would you put that in a buckle right now? So dumb. Oh, come on. My hand doesn't work.
He needs to get it up off the ground, get it into more isolated.
Stupid.
And he keeps trying to throw a spark on that fire starter, and it's just laying on the ground.
No, you're throwing a spark right now. Dude, I'm so soaking wet.
Yeah, there he goes. He's taking his shirt off now, so that's good. He was dripping real bad on his tinder. He's just wetting, making the stuff wet that he tried to pick dry. So that's a good call.
How you feel? Not good.
You concerned about this?
Yeah, I f***ing cannot get this lit. I know I should be able to.
Yeah, you see the confidence now. He's got the fire started.
Don't know if that made sense. Went too big. Describe how your body feels right now. Like I don't know what I'm doing, or how I'm not moving the way I want to move right now. Like I don't even feel like I'm not really in control. I just keep making mistakes because I know I'm putting too big of wood on here right now. But I feel like if I try to go get more tinder, it's not gonna keep going. And this grass isn't grabbing the way I want it to.
Jason, you say when you think it's a sustainable fire.
That wood's got to catch.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's time.
That's us time.
Time 8:30. 8:31. Your wood's hot, man.
Okay.
Hey, Jared.
Yes, sir.
If you take this stuff,
Yep.
and you put it on top, you give the fire something to burn into.
Okay.
It's like a layer cake.
Okay.
So you build layers of fire. You know, you build your layers with your sticks, and that way it burns up through. And then you put your sticks on there. So now you've created a layering. You're insulating the flames with the tinder. So you should always build tinder kindling until you can put sustaining fuel on. See how you just flip that on?
Yep.
And it's going to insulate and help
It
protect
gets it hotter, doesn't it?
well, because the fire wants to burn up.
Right,
You
so-
have to give it something to burn to.
Right,
You got to give
right.
it
Can't just let it sit down there.
because
and
it
it's
won't
there.
burn. It'll burn up into the sticks, but it's not hot enough. So you
Right,
give it something higher than the sticks.
You're right.
It burns to that. It gets hot enough, and then the sticks in between
Yep.
are caught.
Not.
So real quick, Jared, what are your thoughts?
Great job, dude.
Thanks, dude. Holy.
Great job.
That was. I was so scared when I just. It was so simple as drying my ferro rod out to get the spark to throw. And I wasn't doing it, and then water's dripping down my arm. And I realized that my clothes are actually, even though they're not really keeping me warm, they're actually hindering me because it's throwing water onto my knife. I couldn't get my ferro rod to throw a spark.
Not to mention the water getting onto your tinder. and
Yeah,
stuff like that
everything
from your
else.
clothing, yeah.
So I was literally hurting myself the entire time by throwing more water onto it, and you just keep trying harder, and you're not thinking right. Because you're cold. Because you're so cold.
Jason, how do you think he did?
He did great. Did a fantastic job. I mean, the big thing is he came out of the water with a focus and a drive to get the fire started. He started with smalls. I think he could have done a better job of making a more robust tinder bundle. And he rushed to get it lit. He wasn't putting his fire starter in an advantageous spot to light it. Which I hope to illustrate on my iteration. So the impact that cold water can have on your thought process and processing what needs to happen is pretty profound. So thinking about practicing these skills in a cold environment, practice them in a hot environment, you need to be muscle memory, especially in a situation where you're very, very cold.
Chip, you recording?
Yep.
Probably end up having to go to your knees to get like.
Yep.
Right, brother. You got it, brother. You got it. Get yourself comfy and up. He holds his arms differently in everything than I did. Like, it's just. There's a reason behind everything.
Well, you got to remember, though, you warmed the water up.
How cold is it?
It's pretty cold.
It's pretty cold.
Bang.
It's not quite as cold after you sit there for a little while. Yeah.
Okay, so when he gets completely out there, come start. And then we do it, yeah? When he's out. Good? Yep.
He's so much more calm. He's just walking around taking his time, just like strolling through the grocery store right now.
Looking for dry stuff mainly. These cattails are good. All this leafy stuff is fantastic. Cattail fluff works really good. It's pretty dry inside. It's a great insulator.
I didn't even think about the cattails. Are you kidding me?
But this is really good stuff down here.
He's just like, this is just another walk in the park. Like, I know he's just been in that water. I know how cold it is, and he's just, look at the size of his tinder bundle compared to mine. I was like reaching, like scraping for what I could get. He's laying it out like he's folding laundry. Look, going straight for the red pine, the dead red pine that's laying there. That's got all sorts of perfectly dry pitchwood.
Now I know it was like a race to get your fire started, but you know, I mean, I'm not so much in a hurry that I'm gonna take a chance of hurting myself. So though Jared may have got his fire started faster than me, maybe, I don't know what the time is, I feel more comfortable moving at this rate, so that way I don't feel mildly hypothermic. I feel cold, but I don't feel cold to the point where, you know, I can't perform this stuff. So I feel like now I got enough stuff to really get a fire going and go from here.
He's got a tinder bundle 3 times the size of mine right now. Like,
so you know, when you're this cold, you want to take your time to make sure everything's to the point where it's right, because you really need that fire to start on the first attempt, not time after time after time. Because then, you know, if your fire won't start after 2 or 3 attempts, then you know, then you start getting to the point where you think you're failing. You're gonna fail at the deal, and that can be detrimental to your psyche. So I'm gonna open up this. You know, if I carry, this is an emergency situation. Even though I don't look like I'm really in that much of an emergency, I'm very, very cold. You know, so I'm gonna set that there. That's gonna be my extra one.
I wish I had brought a second fire starter. 2 definitely would help. I had 1. He's gonna start one, and now he's got the other one going. You might as well have a torch.
Then I'm gonna take this one, I'm gonna fluff it up like this, but I'm gonna set this one over here in a more advantageous spot, right? So I'm just gonna set it here where it's gonna be easier for me to pump my ferro rod.
Look at where he put that. He put it up on top of and
get my fire started. Then I can take this and I can transfer this down there, and I can add this one to it, and now I've doubled my burn time.
Gets it going right up and then moves it down. That's way more, that makes way more sense.
Now I'm gonna slowly bring this stuff down onto the fire and allow that to catch. I'm gonna put some sticks on top of it here. I'm gonna allow that stuff to catch. Put a little bit more on top. Sprinkle that on there, some more leaves. Put some sticks up there.
That's way more, that makes way more sense. I should have done that.
You know, fire likes chaos. Put that on top. Warm my hands up a little bit. Don't burn myself, you know, obviously, because hands are pretty cold. But I'd say
that's time.
I'd say we're looking pretty good on a fire here.
So it's like within seconds, wasn't it? Within seconds.
We're very close together within seconds, but in watching how we approach that fire and how the calmness and accepting kind of the situation you find yourself in, you expect to be cold, but you have to be calm, because if you run around here haphazardly, you could trip, you could fall, you could hurt yourself. And if you incapacitate yourself to the point where you can't get your fire started, well, you're gonna freeze to death. So if you're very calm, you move through very deliberately, gathering the things you need, you can find yourself in a much better place. Even though our times were very close together, I feel like Jared could have easily hurt himself, and he struggled a lot more. I lit this fire and it's going now, and I didn't struggle because I took my time. And I'm just as cold as he is. I may not look like it, but I am. I'm freezing right now. So, but I have a good established fire here. I can walk away from this fire and get materials for it, and we're good to go. So there you go.
Without a doubt, Jason has done this. Jason knew that he was going to be successful and never doubted what he was doing, versus the person that's never tried it and you're afraid this might not work, and it really may not work. That's the difference I saw. Is Jason knew that I'm cold, but I know I'm going to be able to start a fire. That's from practice.
Give high five, boys. Good work.
Thank you for doing that with me.
Yeah, no. Thank you for showing me the right way to do it.
Nah.
Honestly, I learned something
You got a fire
huge
going.
today.
You got a fire
Yeah,
going.
but
That is the right
I
way.
struggled, man.
Like, I gotta be honest with you, man. Like, I'm not even cold anymore. I'm soaking wet, but like, I'm not really cold. And I tell you, it's all psychological, because I look at this fire, and as I look at the fire, I'm not cold anymore, because I know the fire provides heat. So now I'm not cold. You know, if I stood over here and I knew I had to be out there and I didn't have that, psychologically now I'm cold again.
Yeah.
So just knowing you have the ability to make this is a game changer psychologically.
I said that
Plus
to
you're-
Dad when I got across the pond over there after I started mine. I said to him, I go, I don't even feel like I'm that cold anymore.
Right.
And the success like immediately warmed you up enough
Yeah,
where you're like,
yeah.
I did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was huge.
When Jared's almost went out, you're right. That it's got to be complete mental. Oh my God, I failed. I got to do it again, and I got to do it again. Versus one time, and I'm going to make sure it goes.
Do you see where I moved my fire starter?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I did.
I was telling your father that when you were doing it, it's like, you know, you move your fire starter to where it's advantageous for you.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself at a disadvantage thinking it's got to be here.
Yeah.
You're sitting there throwing spark after spark after spark, and then as soon as you stopped and said, I'm gonna fluff this up,
Yeah.
it started right up.
Yeah, I did.
You stopped and you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Because you're not thinking straight. But if you practice that over and over and over again, you won't make that mistake. Cold, hot, it won't make a difference,
Right.
because you just do the exact same thing you always do.
Yeah.
You come out and you fluff it up,
Right.
and you go to an advantageous position and you start it.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's no other way to do it.
There's no shortcut.
Like, there's no shortcut.
Yeah,
You can't.
absolutely.
Well, I think they said, I saw somebody say, you can't microwave success.
Yeah.
You can't microwave success, man. This is something you have to put the time in.
Yeah.
You have to start the fires. You have to know your equipment. You know, you have to know how your equipment will perform at night, under fire, or in the rain.
The other thing, I only grabbed one of your fires. I had one fire starter. What if that hadn't started? Like, what if that had not
Yeah.
worked for whatever reason? I'm sitting there going, with
I didn't understand why I only took one.
I don't, because I'm dumb. Because I don't do it. Because I'm doing it for a living, right?
Did you see I took two out to begin with?
It's
Like,
easy mistakes like that that I
Right.
don't like.
Yeah, I said, well, if one works, two's better. So that's how I look at everything.
That's
one
right.
is none and two is one. That's what we say in skydiving. So
Well, there you have it, folks. Obviously, this is a fake scenario, but now you guys at home know how to survive a hypothermic situation. You saw it. Even though we created a time limit and thought that this was going to be some kind of competition, the professional decided no time limit. The professional thing to do is keep your mind and keep calm. You don't want to get hurt out there. You need to know what you're doing. Don't scramble, light your fire, and survive. See you next time.